Hey, what is up, guys? This is Bo, or CarlHunga712, and we're coming in with week 3 here, under the Minnesota Vikings franchise, obviously, and we're hoping that this game goes a little bit better than the actual Viking game this last weekend. You know, losing it kind of in a heartbreaking fashion at the last minutes. Unfortunately, I still don't have my microphone in. I'm going to have to try to get a hold of the company and see what's going on here. It was supposed to be here last week, and you know, we're already on Wednesday night, so this video will probably go live Thursday, and I still don't have it. So like I said, I'm gonna have to get in contact with them and see what's going on. So unfortunately, you guys got to put up with the shitty mic for another week at least. Basically, I'm kind of trying to put together the best pass rush I can. I don't know if you guys remember, but in last week's game, Suggs ended up getting hurt. So I'm going to have to make do with what I have here. I'm going to try it in Hedabo here at defensive tackle. Man, that sucks. 5 weeks Suggs is out for. It's crazy.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys.
This will be a little bit easier of a matchup here with Trevor Siemian and the backup quarterback. I'll have to see what Tannehill got hurt with. Guessing we'll have a heavy dose of Derrick Henry, so my goal is to basically shut him down and kind of force Siemian to having to throw the ball every down. So this will be kind of nice.
On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
But for all you Viking fans out there, kind of what's your opinion on Minnesota? What do you think? What do you think they need to work on? I mean, obviously their defense is really bad. I thought Cousins looked pretty decent this week. I mean, obviously a lot better than last week. He couldn't have got much worse than last week, but I think Minnesota's got to really change their philosophy. I know that Coach Zimmer really wants to keep that kind of grind the run, you know, play good defense, but with the defense being as bad as it is, I think Minnesota's really going to have to focus on airing it out, and basically they're going to have to win games kind of like they did back in the later 90s when I really got into watching the Vikes, where, you know, they'd have to get into those shootouts and just rely on basically outscoring the other team. You know, those games sometimes would go 42-38, 42-35, you know, games like that. And basically just have to, that was a huge missed block by, was that Reef? I think that was Riley Reef there. But I think they're really going to have to go to that, kind of change up their philosophy and just kind of try to get into shootouts and hope Cousins can carry them. I don't know if you guys have, if any of you guys follow Pro Football Focus, PFF, that I usually talk about them a lot in my videos. I think they've got some of the best ways of breaking down players and their strengths and weaknesses and what they're good at and what they're bad at, and just kind of things to watch out for. But one thing that I thought was kind of funny, and I kind of joked with my dad, who's a big Viking fan last year, and another buddy of mine, Quinn, who's a big Viking fan, and his dad, I jokingly said, you know, what's the odds of Minnesota cutting Xavier Rhodes and he ends up being like the best cornerback in football, which I think he graded out as like the best corner for a couple of years, obviously a few years ago. And of course, this week I saw PFF release their top cover corners, and I can't remember if it was for the week or for the entire season. I want to say it was for the entire season. He ended up grading out as the highest And I said, of course, you know, Minnesota cuts him because he's struggled so badly with them over the last few years. And now all of a sudden, you know, he's top guy in the league. It's kind of unfortunate. I was happy to see, though, Justin Jefferson he really picked it up this week. And I think Minnesota really needs that because Cousins, the first couple of weeks, looked really uncomfortable throwing to anybody not named Adam Thielen. So, you know, I think that's going to be helpful for him, and something that's definitely needed. What a beautiful catch! Did you guys see that crazy Rudolph catch too in the back of the end zone? That touchdown pass that Cousins threw was a kind of a shitty pass. I think Cousins was kind of under pressure, and he just kind of chucked it in the back of the end zone where only, you know, his guy could get it, and he just made an incredible catch. I mean, it was ridiculous. Really impressive.
So I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off.
Oh, Jefferson, I thought you were coming back on that one. Oh, no. That's all right, though. I should have called a better play. That was on me there.
Worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. Remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Looking down there at the bottom score. And old Fitzpatrick for Miami. He's looking pretty good, isn't he? Always been a big Ryan Fitzpatrick fan. He's a little inconsistent, a little spotty, but he seems to have that, I don't know, kind of that moxie. You know, he's a tough guy. He plays hard. He plays well. Always wants to win. I'm glad he's playing well down in Miami. I'm not the biggest Miami Dolphins fan, but I enjoy watching him with him. He sure played pretty well this last Thursday against Jacksonville. But on Jacksonville's side, I really like Minshew too. Minshew kind of reminds me of Fitzpatrick in a way, a guy that doesn't have a lot of physical talent, but he just makes it work. Kind of like to see what he'd do up in Minnesota. Minshew, you know, I don't know if he'd be a good fit or not, but I think his mobility would definitely be a help in Minnesota. But obviously, Cousins is a better thrower of the football, so I'm worried about this guy blitzing off the corner here. It's a good thing I got out of that play.
Target at LSU, and Justin Jefferson carrying that over to the NFL. He's what a lot of people call a natural pass catcher. What I love about it is the ability to play the ball in the air, and at the moment of truth,
I'm bringing some pressure here, so I'm going to try to beat him deep here. Kind of went with the classic Minnesota Vikings uniforms today. I know you guys have been seeing my 90s uniforms that I've been picking because that's just what I grew up watching. Watched the Vikes in the 90s, but I always like these ones, the classic Vikings uniforms for all those years, back during the Purple People Eater days.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 18 carries, 99 yards.
So partner, 2 games worth, he's leading the league in rushing, so he's now trending. Is that what they talk about nowadays? You talk about trending? That's what he's doing. He'd like to continue it here in this game.
Kind of stacking the box here, so I'm going to throw here.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Cousins. This is caught.
Good play there. Got good protection. He cleared the zone. Basically, the linebackers there just dropped back into a soft zone, so I just had to wait for Thielen to get across the field. As you can tell from my gameplay, probably the first couple of weeks, I'm a pure pocket passer. Not a lot of scrambling or running around. So that was a good good comeback from that bad interception I threw in the end zone here on the last drive. Looking down at the bottom there at the ticker, old Roethlisberger, he's been looking pretty good. I think he's getting back to his old self, which is nice to see. I always was a big Ben Roethlisberger fan. And had a Philly tie there from this last week. I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with old Burrow so far. He's made some tough throws. He's hanging in there. He's playing well. You know, considering that they're kind of a mess right now. Obviously, rebuilding and retooling and everything. I think he's going to be pretty good for him, though. So, got any Bengals fans watching? I think you guys got a pretty potential franchise quarterback in Burrow. I mean, obviously, I got to see more from him, but I've been impressed the first couple of weeks. Been real impressed. And then on the other end, the Eagles. I see there's been some unrest. A lot of people calling for maybe Hurts to come in and start. So is Wentz really struggling that bad? You know, I know. God, what was it? The one year he blew his knee out. I think he was the potential MVP that year. I know a lot of talk about that, and he's kind of gone from that to, you know, struggling this year. So.
Just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Complete to his first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. And the Titans
try to bring a little pressure on this one. There's a good play there, man. I've really held Derrick Henry in check, which is good for us because, like I said, our rush defense is really bad too, really bad.
That's something I have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd and 12, Simeon. He'll give this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards, a first down. First down, Tennessee.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it.
Should bring a little pressure here again. Probably go back to the running game.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down and will.
Nice carry there by Derrick Henry. Picks up a first down. And when you say workhorse, you're thinking about Derrick Henry.
And he was incredible down the road last year, though, wasn't he, Derrick Henry? Him and rejuvenated Ryan Tannehill, man. Oh, nice pick there. He might have a chance taking this to the house. Yeah, I think so. Nice. I think that was my first pick six this year, too. Nice. But getting back to what I was saying with Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry last year, man, both those guys were crazy good down the stretch. Henry was taking over games, and then like Tannehill, again, looking at the PFF stats, like Tannehill was the #1 rated quarterback in the league at the end of the year last year. So I mean, he was incredible. I guess he just had to get away from old Adam Gase, right? Looks like he's going to be, depending on how Thursday goes, there's some talk that he might not make it past this upcoming week. So. And I'm curious to see too what the Jets do, because I got to tell you, you know, Darnold looks good at times. You know, and I wonder, does he just need to change the scenery maybe to improve on what he's done? Or, you know, is he just kind of a streaky quarterback? You know, he has some good, he has some bad in there. But I'm curious to see what happens with him after the season. Darnold, if they move on from him, or if they maybe bring in a new coach and see if they can kind of fix the problems there in New York. It's a good thing Simeon was the quarterback there, because if that's Tannehill, that's a huge first down play right there. Whoever the corner was there, I didn't see the number. He got fried, so it was good. Up, make the tackle. Yes, there we go. I love that 3rd and long, man. You just drop back in that soft cover 2 and Tampa 2 defense and just let them come to you. Make the tackle. Unfortunately, with Simeon in, this might be a boring game for you guys, so hopefully it's not too boring. Looking down, seeing Carolina and LA there, the Chargers. Herbert, I've been pretty impressed with so far. I know there's been a lot of people that weren't too high on him coming out, so I think that's I think he's been showing some signs of kind of rejuvenated that team a little bit, and I think I honestly think they should kind of stick with him going forward over Tyrod, even though I've always liked Tyrod Taylor. You know, he's a smart quarterback. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes or anything like that, but you know, he's not necessarily going to put the team on your back type of quarterback. So I almost think they should stick with Herbert going forward.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
A first down throw for Cousins.
Oh, that was an incredible catch. Wow. Thing with Rudolph, man, he doesn't have a ton of speed, but those hands are, man, it's like he's got glue on those hands. Incredible.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum.
Oh, that was one of the old Madden plays where you get kind of sucked in. You get sucked into the defensive tackle, even though he's really not that close to you. I always hated those plays. Yeah, the O-line hasn't been great this game. Run blocking wise, but pass blocking they've been pretty good. I might get a little pressure on the outside here. Nope, he dropped off. That's one thing I like about the New England playbook too. Play like that. You know, my running game might be struggling a bit, but you got those kind of short, safe throws that are almost like a long, extended handoff to kind of control the clock. You know, keep the clock moving. That's what the one nice thing about it. I thought about waiting for Thielen to break since the two safeties were kind of split on the field there, but I just took the safe play. Got the free first down.
So wouldn't you think play action right here, because you've got the ability to run it in. Take your shot at the end zone.
I don't think I'm getting 100 yards today with old Peterson.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Looks like we're in zone here. I kind of want to hit Rudolph over the middle or go to Smith in the back left of the end zone, but we'll see here. Nope. Oh, maybe. Ah. He got to me right as I was going to throw it. Good play. Good play.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings.
A couple of safe plays and then Sharp in the top right-hand corner, possibly. I just play it safe. Play it safe, check it down. We'll take the field goal. If the team was a little better, I probably would have pushed that or taken more of a shot, but I figure with Simeon in and them struggling a bit, we'll play it safe and take the 3. How about that San Francisco game too? Seeing that down on there on the ticker. Cal Shanahan's he's pretty crafty, man. His both tight ends hurt. You got your great tight end out of Iowa. Then he brings in Jordan Reed, to fill in. He gets hurt. Garoppolo's hurt. You plug in Nick Mullins, and the guy just comes in and plays pretty well. And, he's able to kind of plug and play a lot of guys. Old Shanahan out there. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I got to give him that. I think you almost got to say Kittle's the best tight end in football, don't you? I know some will say Kelsey, and I love Kelsey. That system's just really works well with him, being the great receiver that he is down in Kansas City. But man, Kittle just does everything so well. Block, catch, just everything. Blitz pickup. He just does everything so well. I think I'm going to try bringing some pressure here. I might get bit here in the back end, but I'm going to try bring some pressure. Yep, got bit.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head through the half.
Oh, nice sack by Kendricks there. That's one of the bad things with Madden, is that play action. If you're getting blitzed there, I mean, you're pretty much screwed.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Oh, I keep watching these plays, and it's like, man, if old let's see, I'm gonna actually drop it to cover 3 here. But man, if old Tannehill's in the game at quarterback, that again's a free first down on him. So I'm quite lucky I got away with that one. Our defense left that big hole and didn't put any pressure on Simeon at all. I feel bad for the Giants too down there. That offense goes through Saquon Barkley. Basically, the whole team goes through him, and with that season-ending injury, we're going to really see how good Daniel Jones is, and I think you'll kind of have a pretty good idea at the end of this year whether or not he's going to be the franchise quarterback for the Giants going forward. I was always a big Eli fan, so I miss not seeing Eli out there in New York. But he was kind of a underappreciated, underrated quarterback throughout his whole NFL career. Put up great numbers, was the Iron Man for so long. There was a time that I'd probably take him over anybody in the fourth quarter. When he was in his prime, he was just so good at the end of games, and it's like I said, really underappreciated guy. Really, really good quarterback.
And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up the gain of 27 on the catch and run.
This was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Madison here, he had a nice run there. So that worked out so well. Let's try to get one in the end zone here before halftime. Yeah, let's go. We'll go with a deep shot here.
Here's 1st and 10.
See, we're in man here. Too deep shell. I was hoping to try to drop that in a little better than I did and wasn't able to. I was trying to get one downfield, it just didn't quite work out. Beautiful play. Oh god, that was another crazy game down there at the bottom. Chicago and Atlanta this week. Oh man, I feel so bad for Atlanta. You know, to be up. I think they were up, what, was it all 3 weeks now that they've been up and they've lost, or is it just the 2? But it looks like Chicago's going to be going forward with Nick Foles, even though Trubisky actually didn't have a horrible game stats-wise, but I just think with Foles you have a more safe option with him. Oh, that was a bad call. See, I didn't think he was going to break over like he did there. That was another mistake on my part. I really didn't think he was going to look like he was dropping back into zone a little bit more than he did, so. God, man, what's going on with me? It's just a bad read. Really thought he was going to drop back, and he came up. Stupid play on my part.
As they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
One thing I usually don't do in Madden, I usually don't make really piss-poor reads like that and throw in a lot of interceptions, so hopefully we can fix that here in the next coming weeks.
Simeon incomplete on first. Here's 2nd and 10 now. Now Simeon.
There we go. It's actually kind of nice that they called a timeout there. I would have just let the clock run, I think. But of course they are down 3 scores, 3 possessions, so that's probably why they're doing this. I gotta be honest with you, and Hedebo's done a pretty good job, you know, rushing the quarterback. So I think he might be what we need here for the, you know, as the season progresses here for the next 5 weeks until we get Suggs back. I think he's gonna do a pretty good job. Like I said, this game would have been a little bit more interesting if Tannehill was in here. Even with my 2 picks, I'm still holding them on the defensive side of the ball.
Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And that game is tied 10-all in the second quarter. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home.
And we will skip the highlights.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back from halftime. We're gonna try to clean things up here a little bit because I threw 2 ugly interceptions that I usually don't do, so I have to clean this up a little bit. I'd like to get the running game going a little better, but I just think our offensive line's just, this defense is a lot better than what I've played in the past couple of weeks. It's like we're going to bring the safety blitz here, so. Jefferson over the middle. That's a perfect play call right there. But you know, when you throw a pick, you just got to come back, try not to do it again, and just keep going. Just got to keep going. There we go. One thing you could tell on Madden that they've got somewhat accurate. You know, Peterson's not quite as shifty and fast as he used to be, but I just feel like on some of those plays there, he should be able to break one open a little bit better. The Bills and the Rams, that was a pretty good game this week too. Rams had full control of that game, or the Rams. The Bills had full control of that game for, you know, the beginning. Then the Rams come back, take the lead, and then of course, you know, the Bills finish it off. I got to tell you, Josh Allen's looking pretty good. He really is. I know there's some knocks on him. Try to go deep here. Ah, Madison. I think Madison would have, or I think if there was a receiver out there rather than him, I think that would have been a catch there. But got to keep the defense honest. Got to take a couple of shots every once in a while. But anyways, getting back to that game, you know, Allen, I think he's really turning it around. I know PFF's been real hard on him. Grading wise, you know, he's struggled a bit, but this year he's looking pretty good. He really is. He might be the steal from that draft. We'll have to see. Of course, Baker Mayfield's looking pretty good at, you know, week 1 he struggled against the Ravens, which is understandable. Ravens are a really good team, but he's been looking pretty solid. And then of course, Darnold, it's kind of hard to say because, you know, each week he makes a couple of crazy throws, looks really good, and then just kind of falters. So I don't know if that's just because the Jets are a bad team, or if you know, he is just an inconsistent thrower of the football. So we'll have to see going forward.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business in the line of scrimmage.
I think if Ham can grab this guy here, I think this has a potential of being a pretty good run. No, it wasn't actually Ham. It was that Samia? I think it was Drew Samia that struggled with that one, with the corner block there.
Sometimes you don't have big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Maybe just a slight
with levels here.
Been a strong drive here, 2nd and 11.
Check. 40's mine. 40's mine. What is that?
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Complete to Sharp. And he takes it down to the 10.
I gotta tell you, Sharp's been pretty quiet over the first few games here for Minnesota. Really hasn't done anything.
Not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. First and 10, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Mike's 40. Mike's 40. And let's get it.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And that'll be incomplete.
I was worried that was going to pop out as a fumble there. See, I thought Jefferson was going to be a little quicker on that route there, and he wasn't where I needed him to be at the time. So I'm gonna have to get this one in the end zone, hopefully. Maybe hit Johnson here in the back of the end zone. A little BC.
They were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Jefferson can outrun it. Ah.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the close fist of the referee. And that means 4th down.
Got it, the 1 yard line. Gotta go for it, right?
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to it.
Wow. That's a pretty good job on our O-line there. I wasn't expecting a hole that big. We'll take it, though.
And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
This is what I love about calling these games. 4th and goal. This is all about leverage, who wants it, and who's going to get it done at the point of attack, the line of scrimmage.
pass will make it into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
We'll see how this one keeps going, but if it stays like it's looking right now, we might get some Nate Stanley action here. We'll see. We'll see.
Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the wall and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Looking down too at that Steeler-Texan game there. Man, I feel so bad for Texans fans losing Nuck. You know, DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's arguably the best receiver in football. I mean, obviously, you can make an argument about a few other guys, but he is just so good. And the Cardinals really scored big on pulling him in. You know, with Larry Fitzgerald getting later on in his career, I think that was just a great pickup, really great pickup for him. They didn't have to give up much for him.
The reception, he had a terrific 2019 as a rookie. The first one since 1970 to go over 1,000 yards receiving and average over 20 yards.
That's one receiver I was always wanted to see in Minnesota. I always wanted to see Hopkins up there, and also Fitzgerald too. I've always wanted to see Larry Fitzgerald up in purple. I always thought he was the closest guy to Chris Carter, you know, a Viking legend with just some of the best hands of all time. Yeah, Minnesota struggled for so many years, you know, after they lost Randy Moss, trying to fill that void. And it really wasn't until lately, you know, with Diggs and Thielen that they've had elite receivers. You know, Sidney Rice was good the one year with Brett Favre, but, you know, he always had his injury problems. They brought in Bernard Berrien, who, you know, was a fast receiver, but, you know, just didn't have the best of hands, wasn't the best route runner. They more than overpaid for him in free agency. The only play I really remember of Bernard's, you know, that really stands out is that 99-yard touchdown that Farrat threw to him against the Chicago Bears. And then I'm trying to think of some other receivers that Minnesota had in there that, you know, you kind of thought might turn out to be, well, Percy Harvin was awfully good too, but again, injury problems and some other stuff too with him. Obviously, you know, he didn't turn out to be quite the receiver that he could have been if it wasn't for injuries. And of course, poor quarterback play after Favre. You know, you had Christian Ponder in there for a while, and you know, he didn't end up turning out to be what a lot of people thought he might be. And you know, obviously, all those things kind of piled into one. Minnesota struggled, just like I said, for so many years trying to find that next Randy Moss.
Gets tough in here.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. He completes it to
I know I was supposed to go screen pass over to Madison, but I kind of wanted to throw the defense off there a little bit and throw it out there, and it actually almost worked out for me there. Almost worked out.
Times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. Nice safe throw and a good one.
and he's got a
Throw it to the hand specialist here, Thielen.
83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a first down here.
I don't care how you look at it, how you cut it, how you parse it. Adam Thielen continues to be an absolute marvel coming from where he did. Division III football to being one of the top receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, that's so crazy, isn't it? How they picked up Thielen, you know,
to keep number 19 on the field.
and he ends up being one of their best receivers, you know, in the last, like I said, since Moss, really. I mean, he's probably been their best. Him and Diggs, obviously. They've both been just incredible receivers for Minnesota. It was really sad to see Diggs go, you know, as a Viking fan, especially after the Minneapolis Miracle and everything. But I understand he was pretty upset up in Minnesota. He wasn't real happy with with the team, and obviously he ended up. I don't think he could have been placed in a better scenario up there with Buffalo, because that's what Buffalo's been needing, is a solid receiver like him. So I think he really got what he wanted. So that was good. You know, that's good to see. He's in a place where he can really be successful up there.
Faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On first down, here's Peterson. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup.
Well, Peterson's getting a little better here. Maybe we'll get 60, 70 yards with him today. I don't know if he's going to have to break one big for to get to the 100-yard mark.
Vikings on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Oh man, nice hit. Knocked the ball right out of. Really good play. You know what? I think I will go for it on 4th here. I got a couple of plays that I think I can make work on this one. I'm gonna run a double slant here with Thielen and Jefferson. Oh my God, Thielen dropped that ball. Wow. Damn, everything was like perfect on that play.
But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun game, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there.
Harrison actually got burned on that. Usually you don't see that.
We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year, points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with.
Definitely expect Harris to catch that ball. That's all right, though. That's all right.
Incomplete on 1st. Here's 2nd and 10 now. To throw Simeon. He gets it to Humphreys. And that'll be good for 8
A 3rd and 2 here.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
3rd and 2, Simeon.
Let's get pressure there.
Took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of
I say you got to go for it here, right?
It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
It's a gain of 6.
The one thing I have learned about this league, more and more, you've got to take some chances. You know, if you play everything conservatively and play everything exactly like, okay, I know what to do in each situation, I don't think you're going to get very far. I love the ball there, going for it, even on his own side of the field.
Yeah, and even though you're on your own side of the field, they were creeping towards.
Nice play on their part. Really good play. Hold on to the ball there. Trying some kind of fancy blitzes here, seeing if I can get back there.
A while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding is Agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Good pressure there.
first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Simeon incomplete on first. Here's 2nd and 10 now.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4.
From the gun, here's Simeon. Incompletes it to
That's a good read there. I gotta give him that.
It's gonna turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout. And all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit.
Oh man, Barr just got destroyed on that route. Wow.
You don't react as fast as you should on other throws. Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he went out towards the flat first, and that
Open man is Davis. He's got it.
He did score. He did score. I was hoping to pitch the shutout here, but that's okay.
His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit.
I wonder if he did he have a bobble or something, or did he not get both feet in?
You're going slow clap on me.
not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't
Well,
been
looks
very
like
nice on offense.
he scored to me. Yeah.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Simeon in the offense going to go for 2 here.
Conversion. I got him. Hey, check mine, check mine.
To the air again, Simeon. He's got it. So they convert the 2 that keeps their slim hopes alive. As we're back to a 2-score game. But still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure. But that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready. Multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious you're not even in the game for defense.
Another missed block. Man.
So far here in the second half.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Really? I was kind of hoping to drop that ball in a little bit more than what I did. Honestly, I think in my history of playing Madden since the Super Nintendo until now, I might have only thrown 3 picks in a game, maybe like 2 other times. So this is kind of odd for me, but...
Titans and a first down.
Watch the screen.
Simeon on first down.
Why is everybody getting fried now all of a sudden? This is crazy. Like my corners forgot how to cover here at the very end. And I really have to drop back and play a soft zone here? Might have to.
Yeah, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to a 14-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're going to call 2 plays
There we go.
each time you snap the ball.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
I keep dropping back, I think, here with an head of bow just to cover cover the running back out of the... Wow.
10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their book called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands and downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he will get into the end zone. He shaved 2 more points off the deficit. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you're just talking about.
All right, let's have a solid drive here and put this one away.
Still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the
Man, what is going on with Thielen? That's 2 drop passes. That last one would have been a touchdown or at least a first down on that 4th down play. I just don't know what's going on here. There we go. Just a little first down.
Accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
It's one thing with Cousins though. He puts up a lot of numbers. He throws a lot of passing yards. Doesn't always get you the win, but he puts up big numbers.
That's gotta be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of thinking about that when this one is over.
He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Lucky 50. Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
2nd down throw for Cousins.
There you go, Thielen. There you go.
Taken down before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Curious to see if you guys are still watching. Viking fans in here. What are your opinions on Cousins? Are you a fan of his? Do you think he's kind of to blame, or just a small portion of the problem up in Minnesota? I'm kind of curious to see kind of what others kind of think of Thielen.
Another toe for the Warriors here this afternoon. Peterson. Number 25 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
At the 43-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes.
I think I've said it in other videos, but I like Cousins. You know, I think he's got some limitations. You know, you gotta kind of protect him from. You know, you gotta really give him a clean pocket. But I think he's a pretty pure passer. You know, he throws a pretty nice ball. Good quarterback.
Right out of the 2-minute break. We'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Call one of my favorite plays here.
This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
40's Mike, 40's the Mike. Here we go, here we go.
Cousins to throw.
Yep, this should be game now.
Whistles now and a timeout.
But I said that last week with that stupid fumble I had with Peterson at the end there. So.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Carry number 20 now for Peterson.
Nope, that's game. Get in there. Yeah.
His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their
lining up
lead.
for the point after.
Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0's worthy, 3-0 really good
Now, normally I probably would have fallen there and taken a knee, more like you see in real football, but I kind of wanted to get Peterson another score. It's just cool having him back in purple. So got some extra yards, got a touchdown. You know, can't go wrong there.
The Titans down by 15. A minute 45 to play. And they're in danger of a third straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
I'm going to probably play cover 3 or cover 2 man, just so nothing gets down the field deep.
He's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. In this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they
Good
need.
coverage there. I guess Holton Hill, wasn't it?
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll run it too. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They keep the game alive at least for the moment as it's a 1st down.
That was what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. All right, this is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play, and even better execution.
And this one complete to Smith.
Again, that's perfect right there. Just drop back, play safe. You know, just come up and make the tackle and get the game over with. Oh, beautiful. Nice, Holton Hill there with the pick. And Thielen had a really good day. I didn't realize he had that good of a day.
But that one might just write an end to this ball game.
Yeah, I hear all the time how critical I am of play calls. Not in this situation. No other choice, really. Look at the clock. Look at the scoreboard. Had to put this in and take a chance.
Nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the 1st down run. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
All right, we'll take the knee. Take the knee and come away with the win. Again, another sloppy win. I got to figure out what's going on with my interceptions the last 2 weeks. Like I had 2 last week, and was it 2 this week or was it 3? It was 2 this week too, right? Or no, it was 3. Which, like I said, I think in all the years I played Madden, I've had 3 picks, maybe 3 or 4 times. That's almost over 20 years of playing Madden. So.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota.
So it looks like obviously the Madden franchise is going much better than the actual Vikings season. You know, actual my Vikes are 0-3. Of course, on here we start off 3-0. So maybe we'll just have to enjoy the franchise, us Viking fans out there. Keep winning games and got to be a little bit more clean in the takeaways, but.
So for the Vikings, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the
But I just want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comment section, like I said, how's the season going for you guys? You know, how's your franchise going? And like I said, let me know in the comments. Like I said, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for all the love on the videos. We'll see you next video.